Man and The Wasp is the 2018 movie sequel to Ant-Man. It was produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Motion Pictures. It was directed by Peyton, who returns from the previous film, and it is the 20th installment of the MCU. Now, as we continue on our way to Avengers Endgame, which happens to premiere tomorrow, it is the time to review this film. How does it stack up against the competition? Is it better than the first one or worse? In the next couple of minutes, we are going to find out. Did good. The best aspect of this film is the returning cast. Paul Rudd, who plays Scott Lang, the Ant-Man, is a very likable persona. He's a very likable character. He is funny, he is witty, he's charming. He's all around a good dude, and I really love him because of that. He is a father who cares and loves his daughter very deeply, but he also loves and cares about his friends, and he's trying to do the right thing. So definitely he is, I would say, the best part. Of course, the title of the movie is his name, but definitely he is very likable and you love him all the way through. Hope Van Dyne, the Wasp, played by Evangeline Lilly, is a very likable character as well. I love her in the first film, and in this second film, I love her even more. She is very strong. She's a bit stubborn, but she's dealing with personal emotions here, and she's kicking butt while she's doing that, which is amazing. I really love the scenes where she is in action. This is pretty much the first movie of the Wasp, and I really love her there. She's also motherly at times, and you can see that she's more mature. There's a mature side in her that we didn't see in the first film, and I really like her. You can see this character growing and maturing and more fleshed out, and I really love that part of the film. The rest of the gang is just plain hilarious. Each member, each returning character adds to the overall feeling and sense of the movie. They add up. Of course, you have different characters, different personas, but I love them. It's a pretty much a bunch of misfits, but they form this family, pretty much the Hank Pym family, which I really love. Luis Pena, he's amazing. He is, as he did in the first film, he steals the show with his comments and remarks, his witty remarks, and he does it again. I really love him. He's definitely a big part of this film. First and foremost, this is a sci-fi comedy, and it plays as such. It reminds you of movies in this genre from the 80s and the 90s. It feels that way. There's a lot of hilarious moments that will make you laugh really, really hard. Very silly moments as well. And I really love that part of the film. And it was part of the first film. And I think it's better. That part, the comedy part, is better here. I personally like FBI agent and Scott Lang's parole officer, Jimmy Woo, was portrayed by Randall Park. He is comedy gold. He's the type of comedian that will give you a very funny line with a straight face. It's kind of awkward, but it's just funny. And I really love him because he has some very, very funny but clever lines. The camera shots in this film are great. They're well done. I really love that. Everything is well filmed together. The action scenes are well choreographed. Everything is done well. There's not really much to complain about. The CGI at some point, the music score, it's fresh and on point. I really love the visual references for comic book fans are all over the place. Also, the story has a lot of references, which is always a big plus for comic book fans like myself. San Francisco, the Bay Area, really looks beautiful. So there's not really much to complain about the art. The art overall in this film is well done, well put together. The bad. Now it's time to talk about the bad. The biggest flaw in this film is the lack of a proper villain. Avatar Ghost, portrayed by John-Kamen, She is not a villain per se. She's just a woman that is trapped into the sins of the past, her parents, and also, Hank Pym's sins. So she is full of grief, full of anger, and she's trying to survive. She's trying to overcome her challenges. And that grief, of course, she's very angry, and she's trying to, find means to just survive. And she's definitely not a villain per se. But she doesn't have really, besides that motivation, she's not an evil person. So that's something that the movie lacks. And also there's some other, I would say, low-level criminals, some thugs, that they're just as pretty much as, plot devices. They're not necessarily the center of the film. They're, some of their motives are kind of laughable. They're just there, to be there, and I kind of keep the narrative flowing, but not necessarily they're impactful in the story or important in the story. So definitely the lack of a proper villain in this film, it hurts the film overall. As usual with Marvel movies, there are a lot of things, a lot of events that do not make sense. This movie has a lot of contradictions. Again, it's something common in Marvel movies. For example, how is it that Janet Van Dyne, the mother of Hope, the original Wasp, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, is able to survive in the quantum realm and age well for 30 years? And she knows that. In a place, as it was mentioned before, it was presented before, the quantum realm is a place of no sense of space and time. But she knows that. She knows that she's been there 30 years, things like that. And that she's able to make it through. Definitely those things do not make sense. Of course, you're the type of person that loves to check your brain at the door when you're watching these films, that you have no problem with it. But you're the type of person that loves the detail, the attention to detail, and you pay attention very closely to all of this, then you will find them bothersome. And definitely I do. It's not I would say a biggie, but it's something that is definitely a flaw. Another great disappointment in this film is the story itself. Now, the original Ant-Man was a superhero film that revolved around the subject of family. Now, this movie is a family film that revolves around the subject of superheroes. So it's the other way around. In the first film, we see these people coming together and becoming heroic by doing, sacrificing themselves for the well-being of society. In this film, we see them coming together, not necessarily for the well-being of society for altruistic reasons, but mostly to bring closure to themselves, to their own family, which is important too, because family is always important. He has family message, and it's good. It's a family film, but not necessarily it's a superhero story like others that we have seen in the MCU, where it's all about sacrifice. So definitely that's the part that some people may find it refreshing, and they may say that it's justifiable what they're trying to do while they're breaking some laws, and they might find justification on that. But other people might find this a bit more of a selfish reasons and selfish motivation. In conclusion, Ant-Man and the Wasp is such a fun film full of hilarious moments. I really laugh hard with this film. There are so many moments that I really laugh really hard. I really enjoy it. It's very lighthearted. And this is the best part of the film, I would say. While it lacks the punch of the original Ant-Man and the strong message there, it makes up with, of course, the lightheartedness and the family message. It's a more internal film. It's more about bringing closure to the characters, particularly main characters here. And I really like that part. It feels that it concludes some of the things that were left untied on the previous film. And I love that, because I love when stories come to a closure. At least there's closure for the characters. So that makes it a good and entertaining film, and definitely a good family film, because at the end of the day, it's all about the family. Unfortunately, this movie suffers the same hurdles any sequel has to overcome, and therefore it suffers the same fate. In many ways, it's so tied up to the previous film, to Captain America Civil War, and even to the upcoming Avengers Endgame, that it doesn't give the story enough room to breathe. It is not its own story. It is just another cog in the machine. And it is unfortunate because it has the elements to be a singular story that is pretty much bigger than life, as powerful in the message as the first one, but it doesn't have it. Yes, it gives you a lot of family vibes. It gives you a little lightheartedness. It is fun entertainment, but it's not something that you will be, a movie that will be remembered as a unique experience. And definitely that's something that this movie suffers from it. Yes, you have fun with it. You'll enjoy it for what it is, but this is not, and I mean not, the best example of the MCU. It is not a top tier, maybe a middle ground. So if I have to give this film a score, I would say it's a 7.5 out of 10. Now, I was considering a 7, but thinking about it, it has a lot of good production value, production quality. And of course, these actors are giving them all. You can see them giving them all. And really, they personify these characters. They really love the characters, and you can feel that in their portrayal. It is not stiff. It's just, it feels natural, and I really love that. So, this is definitely my last review of the MCU. I already reviewed Captain Marvel, and I'm gonna have the link at the end of this video so you can watch it. So now I'm waiting for Avengers Endgame. So I want to say thank you to every person that has watched all my reviews from since Iron Man. We have, in the pretty much last 2 months, we have been reviewing all these films, and it's been a marathonic experience for me. So I really appreciate those that are following me and they're liking the videos and watching the videos. I really have fun with this. So I'm really looking forward to Avengers Endgame tomorrow. This weekend I will review it next week, so you'll have it. But I want to say thank you for watching and following with me. Now for this movie, I don't know what your opinion is. This, of course, I'll share my opinion. Please leave your comments below. Do you like Man and The Wasp? Do you don't care much about it? Do you think that it was better than the previous film or worse? I would like to hear your opinion in regards to this film. Please leave the comments below. So once again, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. Follow me on social media. You can follow me on my Facebook page, on my Instagram and Twitter. The links are down below. And also, please consider supporting me financially. Through your financial support, I'm able to keep this channel going and the podcast. You can do that through Peyton on a monthly basis. You can give $1, $2, $3, $5, whatever amount you decide to give. It really will help me. And also you can do that through PayPal and GoFundMe if you only want to do it as a one-time payment. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. Thank you for your support, and thank you for sticking out with me. We will continue on. After I finish with this, I'm going to take a little break with movies. I'm going to still have movies to review, but I'm going back to a lot of books and comic book stories. So once again, God bless you, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.